Neptune. So it all started with Uranus, which was discovered in, it wasn't 1781, I believe it was 1981. Scientists were confused that there was another fluctuation in its orbit that only made them to believe that there had been another planet out there. Finally, an English astronomer finalized his calculations in I believe it's 1945, that was my mistake, the position of the anonymous planet. With a little bit more research between the scientists, the Voyager 2 flew by in 1989 and found new information on Neptune's rings, number of moons, atmosphere, and rotation. No, go ahead.
Because of the bluish color, scientists only thought it was necessary to continue naming planets after Roman gods. Therefore, they named it after the Roman god of the sea, Neptune.
So Neptune does have rings. Unlike Earth, there are several faint rings all the way around, made of small rocks and dust. The rings are not the same thickness all the way around. The more thicker parts are called arcs. Neptune has 4 major rings: the Galilee, Barrier, Plateau, and Adams. Next. So, going to the next one. This is Neptune. The outer ring is Adams, Plateau, Barrier, and Galilee. So next, that would be Adam, Plateau, Barrier, and Galilee. And then right there is the little, that's the atmosphere, that's the big storm it always talks about. Next. There's a thing that Neptune spins like this. Well, if you look, the tilt of its axis is only like 5 more degrees more than Earth. So, compared to the rest of the Earth, I think Uranus has the most sideways rotation. I thought that was funny because, you know, his rings aren't the same thickness all the way around. So, that's funny. You guys get it.
Okay. In Earth hours, a day on Neptune is about 19.1 hours. Compared to terrestrial planets, gas giants have a very fast orbit. Like Jupiter and Saturn, their orbits are about 16 hours.
And that was my mistake. I meant rotation because their rotations are pretty fast. His orbits are pretty slow. So near the poles, it's about 12 hours.
They time vibrations of the.
They time the variations of from the upper atmosphere because it takes about 16 hours, 7 minutes for its magnetic field to rotate, which is different than its atmosphere. The technical day for Neptune is about 16 hours. A Neptune year is about 165 Earth years, 1 orbit around the sun. That's an orbit, that's a rotation. I had a blonde moment. I was like, that doesn't make sense because if it rotates 19.1 hours, it's only 5 hours off. So why does it take that long for it to orbit? But they're different, so don't mind me.
While the tilt of the axis on Earth is 23.5 degrees, Neptune's tilt is 28.32 degrees. Its axis is normal. It's
Not horizontal.
not horizontal.
Like up and down.
It's the wind's magnetic field rotation rotates that way. Sorry, can't speak today.
The temperature and atmosphere its weather patterns are much stronger than Uranus, scientists have observed annual seasons, and from being so far from the sun, strong winds do occur. The temperature is around negative 353 degrees Fahrenheit. It is the coldest planet in the solar system. Just like Earth, it does have strong upper atmosphere winds, and it does also have seasons. The storms come and go.
The upper atmosphere is 80% hydrogen. There is about 11% helium.
19.
That looks like 11, whatever. Anyway, 19% helium, and they have found trace amounts of methane.
Hydrogen is also found in water, and that makes up most of Neptune. So the size is about 1,500 miles in radius, so that times 2 in diameter would be 30,000 miles around. The Voyager 2 has calculated that with its pictures and
The composition of the interior is estimated to be like Uranus. 2 layers, core, ice mainly, and the mantle purely, pretty much just water, which is probably frozen. Who knows?
no, it's dense and warmer.
And the atmosphere seems to be mainly hydrogen, which is found in water.
So that all leads to the mysteries later on. The mantle is composed of warmer than the atmosphere because Neptune is still pretty cold, and dense liquids composed of water. The distance from the sun is I'd say about 2.8 billion miles away from Earth. It's 2.7 billion miles away. AUs from the sun, the average is 30.1 AUs. And when we learned about the perigee and apogee, there's the closer side and the farther side because it's an ecliptic orbit, which is oval. So the closer it is, it's about 29.8 astronomical units. The apogee is about 30.4 astronomical units.
Neptune currently has around 14 moons, but the most common one everyone looks at is Triton. Sorry. It is like our moon, but it is just a lot smaller than ours.
Just a lot smaller.
And Triton is Neptune's biggest.
It actually all began with the Voyager 2 in 1989. The mission is still active today. Actually, the Voyager 1 was sent out to go check out Uranus. It was aimed for Saturn so it can slingshot and go around Uranus. And scientists found a fluctuation in its orbit, which led them to believe that there had to be another planet out there. So not even a month or 2 later, they sent the Voyager 2 out there, which they found Neptune, and then from there they started studying its rings, its atmosphere, its size, composition, everything like that. NASA and ESA have no promised future missions, but they are working on a time to propose future missions. I saw one that could possibly happen in 2017, but it's just a theory from outsiders. This mission so far has given us visuals and facts of the basics of Neptune, and it's studying its moon still. It's still out there. It's going outside of the solar system right now, just like Voyager 1 has. It's going to be the second man-made object to go outside of the solar system. Neptune's mystery. For a while, it was considered a featureless and weatherless planet, but with the Hubble telescope, we were able to see that there were actually a fierce weather system on Neptune, with winds up to 13,000 miles per hour retrograde to Earth's winds, which means like opposite, backwards, because that was our vocab word, as well as its atmosphere containing a key element from Earth found in water, hydrogen. Although the planet is not a terrestrial planet with heat to provide proper environment for human beings, could there be some sort of life on Earth?
The planet is actually losing a lot of heat that it receives from the sun, but what's weird about Neptune is that it's actually creating heat from inside its mantle and core, which is kind of odd and strange, since it's really far out there and would be considered really, really cold and not produce heat at all. So, who knows?
So heat versus cold, who wins? Go. And look, there's like heat and cold. Okay, next. If we had unlimited money, my idea was we would send drones to take pictures. They would have to be waterproof and can float. Like we would design a way for it to be sustainable to go to Neptune and actually do this without getting ripped up and destroyed. We were going to use nearby or send satellites to take pictures and observe the weather patterns to find out when it was like the right time to send it, if there was a better time than others. We were going to calculate the safest protective material to wear or be in to send a man to take samples from the air, water, and such, so that we can find out if it's really like sustainable hydrogen to breathe in. Bring the samples to test for life.
Idea number 2 is kind of like idea number 1, but with some small changes. Since idea 1, we send unmanned stuff there, we'll pretty much do the same thing on idea number 2. But idea number 2 will send a manned mission along with it to see if it would actually be safe and to see how hot or cold it is on the surface, if there is a surface.
Basically just send a thermometer there, and our studies would have to be like long time studies because it's so far away, so our scientists and our generation would be able to see it if we were to do it today. So a summary. It is the 8th planet discovered in 1989 by the Voyager 2, which was sent after the Voyager 1 because of the fluctuations in Uranus's rotation. It's 4 major uneven rings. It has 4 major rings that are uneven. The thicker parts are called the arcs. Its tilt is only 28.32 degrees, about 5 more degrees than Earth's, so its horizontal theory is false. The rotation is 19.1 hours. Outer planets have a fast rotation, like Jupiter, Saturn, all the big gas giants. They have a very fast rotation. But its orbit takes 165 Earth years to go around the sun. It is the coldest planet, composed mainly of hydrogen. Average is 30 astronomical units from the sun, 29 astronomical units from Earth. It has 14 moons. Triton is its biggest. The Voyager 2 is still active in the solar system, found on Neptune, studies its moons. Do you guys need to write that down? Go back. You guys have it all down? Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty soon, right? But our questions are just which spacecraft found Neptune and how? Okay, we talked about it the whole time.
Why don't you tell them the answer? Tell them you need to have answers on here, remember? Make sure everybody has answers on this.
On the slide?
Yes, so when you come back and study it a week from now, you know what the answers are.
Yes, sir.
So what's the answer?
Voyager 2.
Why don't you ask them so they can be engaged?
What Which spacecraft found Neptune and how? Yes, Tommy.
Voyager 2.
And how? And why? Like why? Eister?
Well, wasn't it Voyager 1 that actually like found the fluctuations in the orbit or whatever?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Berkeley?
Wasn't it that the Voyager wanted to go look at Uranus but found fluctuations in it, and then they thought there was another planet out there, so they sent Voyager 2 to find out?
Yes. Okay, true or false, Neptune is the coldest planet? Berkeley?
True.
True. Okay.
Number 3, who was Neptune named after? Tom.
God of the sea.
Right. Number 4, what is 80% of Neptune's atmosphere? Right.
Hydrogen?
Yes.
And number 5, what are the thicker parts of Neptune's rings?
Yes, Pinky. An arc? Yes.